Let's start with the Google Earth Engine course with me. If you want to learn Google Earth Engine but you have zero coding background, so don't worry. In this video we are starting our scripting journey from scratch, and the wonder here is you don't need to be a developer, or you don't need to be a coding expert. You just need to know few coding concepts by which you can analyze your data set. So for the opening of Google Earth Engine code editor, you need to write Google Earth Engine code editor in Google, and it will open multiple sites. So for the opening of the dashboard, you need to click on the official site which is provided by the Google, which is Google Earth Engine code. So you need to click on it. As you will open it, it will ask you for in which project you want to do editing. So in my case, I have made this project for the YouTube. So I have opened this. Okay, so in this video we are starting our scripting journey from scratch. We will learn about JavaScript variable, lists and objects from basics, and how they help us handle geospatial data we will see in this video. And you need to make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming tutorials. And let's jump straight into the coding now. So what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn JavaScript variables, and then we are going to learn lists. What are the lists in JavaScript? And then we are going to learn about objects in JavaScript. Okay, according to my knowledge and what I have studied about variables is that it is just like a box in which we can store any kind of information. You can store the text and even numbers, and it can be alphanumeric data. So firstly, let's just create a variable in JavaScript. If you want to create a variable, then you need to write variable here. Okay, so we need to write variable and then the name of the variable, which is I am writing here the city. So now we have a variable with the name of city, and we are storing the name of the city in this. Let's just store Lahore here. And if you want to see what is inside your variable, then you need to do a query with the print. This is the print syntax in which you need to write the name of the variable. Okay, so if you run this, you can see that the variable has the text data in Lahore with the name of Lahore. Okay, so now let's just learn about lists. So now let's consider, so what is the list? What is lists? Okay, or if you want to comment any line in the code for your understanding, so you need to write double slashes before the text over here. Okay, so now let's understand about what is our lists. So when you work with satellite imagery, we don't just deal with one single value. There are multiple bands in a single satellite imagery. You know about the Sentinel satellite. There are multiple bands in it, just like blue band, green band, red band, near infrared band, shortwave infrared band. So now we are creating a list in which we are storing multiple data. Okay, so to create a list we need a square bracket here. Okay, so let's just create a list with the name of spectral bands. Okay, so here we are creating a variable in which we are storing a list. Okay, so the name of the variable is spectral bands, and for the creation of list, as I told you before, that we need this square brackets. Okay, and then there are multiple information you want, you can store over here. Okay, so let's I am storing here band 2, and then band 3, and then band 4, and so on. You can store a list of information here in the list. Okay, so if we print this list and hit run button, you can see all 4 bands grouped together in the console. This is the console in which you got the output. Okay, so now we are printing out our list with the name of spectral band. Let's just run this. Now you got a list of spectral bands. So now we are going to understand about objects. Okay, now this is the scenario. What if we want to store structured information about a study area? Means to say about the area properties, about the name of the area, about its latitude, longitude, about its some non-spatial information. Then you can use dictionary here. Basically, objects store the values in key value pairs. Okay, key value pairs. You will got it understand as we move forward. Okay, now we are making a object in which we are storing our dictionary. Okay, so we are firstly creating an object with the name of area properties, and then you need to have curly brackets here. Okay, in which we are going to store our data in key value pairs. Means to say there would be a key, and there would be a value against to that key. Okay, so let's say we have a name which is the key. Okay, and the value here would be, let's say, Lahore. Okay, and now we can make a key of with name population, and we can store the population of Lahore here. Let's just, this is just an example, this is not a real kind of data. And now the third key is that what is the type of Lahore. So let's say we are storing its type it as urban. Okay, so this is the dictionary. So there are multiple purposes of variable, lists and objects. It depends upon the application for which you can use them in your coding. Okay, so now let's print area properties. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so you can see that we have type, name and population. That's it for today. We learned about the 3 basic concepts, which are variable, which are list, which are dictionaries. Okay, so I am hoping for that you can create variable, list and objects by your own right after watching this video. In this video we learn about the 3 basic concepts, which are of variable, list and dictionary. Okay, so I am hoping that right after watching this video you can create variable, lists and objects with dictionaries with your own, and in the next video we will understand about Google Earth Engine server side objects and functions. Okay, so in the very next video we will cover exactly that, and see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.